CBC News has learned that the three most powerful figures in the Senate have been flagged by the Auditor General for filing inappropriate expenses. Senate Speaker Leo Housakos, Government Leader in the Senate Claude Carignan, and Opposition Leader in the Senate James Cowan. What's more, they've all been working together for months on the Senate's response to the Auditor General's findings. The CBC's Catherine Cullen has more on this tonight. Catherine.
Peter, here's how bad it is. The men in charge at the Senate are accused of misspending, and some of them say that the auditors got it wrong, meaning that they are finding fault with the very process that they hoped would help clean up the Senate and restore its reputation. He's the first senator to finally get his hands on that explosive Auditor General's report. And the man just appointed by Stephen Harper to referee the Senate will find his own name in it.
Full disclosure comes with risks, right? And there's two choices here. We can whitewash things, as they have been done in the past, or we can come clean. And we can level with the Canadian public.
But Leo Housakos' own case shows just how complicated this could be. He says one dispute over expenses involved an employee who drove to Montreal and back to help him with a charity event. That money has been repaid. But in another case, he's ready to fight. It's a contract worth about $6,000 from an employee who handled media relations and community outreach.
I completely disagree because in the findings, the auditor did point out that the work was ordered by me, it was delivered by the contractor, and I paid the invoice accordingly.
Housakos will now take his case to the arbitrator he and other Senate leaders helped put in place, retired Supreme Court Justice Ian Binney. He will be asked to rule in instances where senators dispute the auditor's findings. And Housakos is not the only one who will fight.
And I just want to confirm that I am named in the report.
Leader of the Senate Liberals, James Cowan, says his own problem is over travel expenses from 2011, totaling more than $10,000. And he's going to fight as well.
The claims were paid, no further information was requested, and now 4 years later the Auditor General suggests that I should have or should have retained more information, which I simply do not have. I was not required to, and I don't have that information.
And then there's Conservative Senate Leader Claude Carignan. His problem, travel expenses charged by a staff member.
We had a meeting with him. He explained his case. He was in good faith, and he already reimbursed the amount. It's around $3,000.
All three are part of a group of 21 senators that the Auditor General says made inappropriate expense claims. But there's another group of 9 senators who are even worse off, that the Auditor General will recommend be investigated by the RCMP. CBC News has learned that 7 of those senators have already retired. 2 are still sitting. Of the 9, 6 are Liberal and 3 are Conservative. CBC News has also learned that those Conservatives are Don Oliver, Jerry St. Germain, and Pierre Boisvenu. 3 of those Liberals are Rosemary Lausier-Cool, Rod Zimmer, and Marie Charette-Poulin. In those problem cases, Housakos says the Senate will call the RCMP where asked.
There is no room in this institution for deliberate impropriety. None. I won't accept it, my colleagues won't accept it, the people of Canada won't accept it.
Now, Conservative Senator Pierre Boisvenu has just announced that he is going to remove himself from caucus and sit as an independent. We should get the full story of what the Auditor General found on Tuesday. That's the next time that the Senate sits, and we expect that Housakos will make the entire report public then. Peter?
All right, Catherine, thank you. Catherine Cullen in Ottawa tonight.